Anyone who rehabs old buildings or anyone who tears down old buildings will tell you that it's not at all uncommon to find things in the attic, and eventually they make their way sometimes to CNN or one of the other major news networks. Somebody finds a pack of old money stuffed in the eaves, or recently somebody found a bunch of gold coins out in California. That does happen. It's very unusual that something as famous as the missing soldier's office would be lost, because typically we know about it. It's associated with a famous character, and therefore all of the locals know the story. And this story of finding the missing soldier's office, having no idea that it was here, that is truly a unique story. In 1997, the building that we're in currently was slated to be torn down as part of a revitalization project for the Penn Quarter neighborhood. It was owned at that time by the General Services Administration of the federal government, and in order to tear it down, of course, they had to inspect the building and make sure that it was safe to be torn down, that there weren't any people living in it, that there weren't any hazards, LP gas or oil tanks or anything like that from its previous owners. Richard Lyons, who's a carpenter for GSA, came through this area, and if you can imagine, the wallpaper was falling off of the walls. It was really very dark. There was no electricity up here. A difficult job. He said it was almost like a tap on the shoulder, or something moved him to look up. And as he looked up, he saw this letter and he retrieved it, and he realized that what he was looking at was something very old. And it gave a clue to him as to what this building was. He used this very ladder. It was laying around up here. He found it. He used the ladder. He went up into the attic, and he found the Clara Barton Missing Soldier's Office sign, the original sign that Clara Barton had used in 1865 to denote that this was indeed the missing soldier's office. That began a whole series of events that would eventually lead GSA to restore the space, to properly preserve the artifacts, to eventually bring it back to what you see today, with the National Museum of Civil War Medicine finally being chosen as that partner to operate this as the Clara Barton Missing Soldier's Office Museum. That is truly a unique story, and the time capsule that was found in this attic, one of the most unique collections of artifacts that's been found probably in the last 50 years.